All right, welcome back. Now, I have so many subjects. I'm a little overwhelmed, to be honest, and I have to talk about it. I can't sweep anything under the rug. I have to talk about all of these stories. Now, I didn't even refer to this one. I did not refer to this one in the previous live stream because I forgot. And there are so many subjects. But I definitely have to deal with this. Now, we all know Brooklinn Khoury. First of all, before I get started, I don't want to, bore anybody, but look, there are a lot of new subscribers. There's been a lot of people who subscribed here recently. Please make sure that you check out the home page of this channel in the section where I refer to other channels. I'm not some lone anti-dog channel out here. I have powerful comrades who create incredible content that I've mentioned before. Much of it should have gone viral by now. Many of my comrades should have gone viral by now. Dump Dogs, We Hate Dogs, Chef. Hopefully you all enjoy their content as well. Now, we all know Brooklinn Khoury. Okay, she gave us an update here. Now, this article surfaced today. I was severely attacked by a pit bull. I'd never owned one. Now, this is written sort of in a weird way. Now, I don't know if Brooklinn Khoury actually wrote this. You see her name right here? That's usually where the writer of the article puts their name. But maybe they allowed her to write this article. That's what it seems like. Or it's a transcript and they got permission to sort of, type all of this in here. But this is lengthy and I'm not going to read through all of this. Instead, essentially this entire article was taken from this 3-minute video. It's not even 3 minutes. So I think it'll be more enjoyable if we hear from Brooklinn Khoury herself. Now, for those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, she was at her cousin's house. She was petting her cousin's dog, and the dog leapt up and latched onto her upper lip and bit her upper lip off. Right now, this is Brooklinn Khoury.
Hello, whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having an amazing day. There is a question that I get addressed a lot, and I never really take time to respond to it because I feel bad for both parties in this situation. So back in November 3rd of 2020, I was attacked by a pit bull. The pit bull happened to be my cousin's dog. They had just lifted a ban that pit bulls were re-allowed in the state.
Oh, let's stop there. They had just lifted a pit bull ban. We've heard this happen several times, haven't we? That shortly after removing a pit bull ban, you have all of these attacks. But yet, it's not about the breed. Okay.
They were not allowed to be in that state because there were so many attacks happening.
And some of you have noticed this. Pit bulls not only inflict more damage on average, but they are usually the ones that bite most often. And I suspect that dog bites in general, most of them, pit bulls might make up the greatest percentage, regardless of the information that they tell you. And if there are any dog lovers, I know some of you listening, if you want to claim, no, it's a golden retriever, no, it's a lab, they bite more often than pit bulls. If you say that, then you also have to face the fact that if those dogs bite more often, that proves that pit bulls inflict more damage because pit bulls make the news far more often than any other breed. Every bit of evidence and statistics works against the pit bull world. Oh, yes. Right, let's continue.
And unfortunately, it is.
I'm sorry about that. Is that too loud? A lot of times my volume is real janky. I don't want it to be too loud or down too low. Y'all let me know if the volume's okay.
Really hard because every time I state it was a pit bull, people automatically think I have something against pit bulls. I don't.
Oh, now Brooklinn Khoury is a little fast talking little thing. But I don't want y'all to miss nothing. Let's rewind this back. I want y'all to catch what she just said. Well, this pit bull propaganda is powerful. And I'm saying pit bull propaganda because everything that involves pit bulls is more extreme. The attacks as well as the propaganda and the efforts that people make not to offend the pit bull world. And this is why I love this community so much. We don't give a squat about what you pit bull lovers think. We don't care about offending the pit bull world. Look at how she walks on eggshells here.
They were not allowed to be in that state because there were so many attacks happening. And unfortunately, it is really hard because every time I state it was a pit bull, people automatically think I have something against pit bulls. I don't. I am very cautious around all dogs now.
But you see what she just said there? That was meant to appease the pit bull lovers. Oh, even though a pit bull that was fully trained bit my lip off, I don't want to offend the pit bull lovers. No, no, no. That's not how this world works. Brooklyn, you are rapidly growing into womanhood, adulthood. That's not how adults operate. We tell it like it is. Don't worry about stepping on toes. If they feel like their toes have been stepped on, that's their problem. You're just pointing out the truth. And the truth is, you should not care. You should not care what they think just because you say it's a pit bull. Was it a pit bull or not? Yes, it was. Tough. And this is more proof that a lot of these attacks go unreported. This shows you how reluctant people are to report these attacks. And she's not even a pit bull owner.
There is such a stigmatism against pit bulls, and it's unfortunately because things like this do happen.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Now, what is... Okay. Let's make sure we understand this, people. Let's make sure she understands this. Okay. She said there is a stigma against pit bulls. What is it? A stigma, a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person. Okay. Now, I'll agree with that. There is a stigma. But most definitely, as she pointed out, it is because the dogs earned it. The pit bulls, earned this stigma, or what I like to refer to as reputation. Nobody's lying on pit bulls. There is no group anywhere that simply dislikes how they look or anything like that.
And it's unfortunately because things like this do happen. And I'm not saying that all pit bulls are bad. I've met plenty of nice
there you go.
Pit bulls. I have also met really aggressive ones. So maybe it is the owner. Maybe it is the way that they were raised. The way that this dog was raised was, it was 8 years old. It was fully trained and it had been around people its whole life.
8 years old, fully trained, been around people its whole life, which means that was her way of informing us that it was socialized. This dog was socialized. It was used to people. Okay, let me rewind that. Let me take that back just a little bit.
They were raised the way that this dog, I have also met really aggressive ones, so.
Okay, that part right there. Okay, let's hear that again, because we have to do this. We got to take our time with this.
And I'm not saying that all pit bulls are bad.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying all pit bulls are bad? Because the truth is, they are all bad. And the truth is, if a person doesn't want to end up like you, if a person doesn't want to go through what you went through, then they should view all pit bulls as bad. Guess what, Brooklyn? Had you viewed all pit bulls as bad, this wouldn't have happened to you, because you would not have been inside of that home. Now, this was her own cousin. And I've informed my family, if you're a dog owner, I'm not coming inside of your home. This is why. Yes, that might seem harsh on the surface to say to a family member, but that family member is doing something extreme. They're keeping a living predator, mutant, inside the home. That's where I pump the brakes. Let's keep it real here. I don't push hate or anything antisocial. I try to push common sense logic, man. Had you been a dog hater like me, this wouldn't have happened to you. Now listen. She has a lot more to say.
I've met plenty of nice pit bulls. I have also met really aggressive ones, so maybe it is the owner.
No. Stop. Talking about I've met plenty of nice pit bulls. You go back and meet those same pit bulls that you just called nice, they might bite your lower lip off. It's not about them being nice or not ripping your throat out. It's about them having the capability to do so. And they do it in the blink of an eye. You don't go around anything like that unprotected, where the only thing you're relying.
Maybe it is the owner. Maybe it is the way that they were raised.
Or maybe it's instinct. If this dog was, this guy, her cousin, got the dog when it was only a few weeks old. It's 8 years old now, been around people its whole life. Doesn't this experience tell you that these things have an instinct? This is what they were bred for. They were bred for the pit bull lovers. Pit bulls were not bred to be pets. Do you understand that? Here, come join me and the rest of the dog experts here on this channel. Pit bulls were not bred to be pets. If they were to breed pit bulls to be pets, do you know what they would have to do? They would have to breed the game out of them. They would have to breed the... Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that sound? I just got an alert that my stream malfunctioned. How we doing out there? I just got an alert. How we doing out there? We're still live. Let me refresh my live stream. My apologies. My apologies, people. I want to make sure this thing is running smooth for you all. Yeah, these stories are fascinating. Fascinating stuff. Okay, this thing is telling me that I have 20 viewers in the room and I have 20 likes. So big shout out to everybody in the room. Everybody has hit that like button. Thank you very much. That helps to get the message out.
A long time to get checked into the hospital that day because it was COVID and there were certain questions that they had to ask me, COVID related questions. So I was standing outside, then I got checked in inside, and then once I got inside, I would say the animal patrol came within like 3 to 4 hours. I was sitting down, laying on the bed. They're trying to preserve the area as much as they could. That's what they were telling me. So they were keeping gauze wet, keeping it on the area. The animal patrol walked in. They asked me a few questions, if I was the girl that got attacked, if this was the address of the house.
The powers that be, they're working against me right now. How we doing out there? We still live? Y'all probably heard that sound. I'm getting this notification that my live stream has temporarily stopped working. Yeah, my stream is jumping all over the place. I go from 19 viewers to 36, 40. What's going on here? All right, let's continue. Hopefully we're doing okay. All right, let me back this up. Now, what was I talking about?
Down. I had no say in what they were going to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Why was she so willing to allow the dog to live? Because she knew that much of the evidence that they were going to use, a lot of the motivation that they would get to put the dog down would come from the victim. And why wouldn't it come from, I guess she was a YouTube celebrity or a YouTube star. Yeah, if she wants it put down. But at the same time, if she were to say, no, let the dog live, do you understand? That gives them the most amount of motivation to keep the dog alive. Okay, I'm probably not explaining that properly, but I hope you all understand what I'm saying. The best defense for the dog, for the pit bull that bit her lip off, its best chances of staying alive and not being euthanized is going to come from her, the victim. If the victim says, no, let it live. So she bent over backwards immediately after the attack. This is powerful propaganda, people. Immediately after the attack, and tried her best to make sure that dog stayed alive. I'm not beating up on this kid. This girl is young enough to be my daughter. I'm trying to make sure the proper lessons are learned from. We're supposed to learn lessons from stuff like this, not to continue on being dumb. Oh, I still love dogs and any of that nonsense. No. Not while I'm alive. Right? Let's continue.
My cousins, I told them they can keep the dog alive if they wanted to.
Yeah?
They did not want to. They felt.
Yeah? You see? She tried her best to make sure this thing was not put down. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you look at your blood-soaked body and think to yourself, look, we can't afford to have this happen to a child. What if this was a child? They would have been killed. No, that dog has to be put down. No, instead, she did the exact opposite. Look at how backwards this is. There's nothing positive that can come out of keeping that dog alive. Nothing at all. Only negative. Why don't people move towards what's positive? What's good? What's safe? Safe is good. Wake up, people. This zoinked out generation, what is going on here? Nobody can tell me people have always been like this. We wouldn't be here today if human beings had always been this airheaded and zoinked out. Let's continue.
Very unsafe with the dog because of what had happened to me. They then left and they euthanized the dog. I did not want them to have to put down their dog. I know what it feels like to be attacked.
Boom. There you go. And I believe that much of the reason why she's saying all this stuff is to appease these pit bull lovers. You got to understand, she's making these statements after having been attacked by pit bull. Pit bull owners contacted her shortly after her attack and told her that they hated her and that called her all kinds of bad names, abused this woman just nonstop. Pit bull lovers. This is according to Brooklinn Khoury herself. So she's saying this after having been the victim of verbal abuse by pit bull lovers. So she's trying to appease. She's trying to cater to these people. That is so disappointing, man. That's so disappointing. Nothing would make me happier than if she were to lash out and give them the type of lashing that they have earned. Stop with this. People don't do nothing for you other than ruin your life. Not saying that her life is ruined, but her life is changed. This is according to her.
Put down their dog. I know what it feels like to be attached to a dog. I do feel.
And that's the problem. Listen, this attachment to dogs is nothing special about the dog. Nothing at all. The elite class of this earth understands that people will love anything that they open themselves up to love. You can literally fall in love with a brick wall if you fix it in your mind that it's a person with a heart that loves you. That's the scary part of the human brain. You have to be in control of your own perceptions. Nutters, yeah, you'll get away with that outside of the anti-dog. When you come to the anti-dog community, that nonsense don't work with us. It don't work with us. Your little goofy stories about your magical attachment and love and bond and how wonderful it is. Stop it. None of that has any effect. You don't make a dent, not even a dent. Again, you can love anything. You can fall in love with anything. A stuffed teddy bear. She would have been better off doing it. Any of you, all you kids, tell your parents you don't want a dog. You want a stuffed teddy bear. And when you get it, get a big one. Get a stuffed teddy bear that's bigger than you. That's actually far more fun than a stinking, annoying, dumb mutt. And tell yourself that it loves you. That it's your best friend. Tell yourself this is my best friend, my companion. And you're going to have the same attachment and bond that you have with a dog. Only difference is it's perfectly safe and clean.
It's like to be attached to a dog. I do feel horrible, of course. I feel bad about the whole situation.
What you feel horrible for? Stop it, young lady. Stop it. Listen, man. Brooklyn. I know you've heard some of my videos. Almost everybody who's been attacked has heard some of my videos. You need to cut this out. You've been called upon to help lead young people in the right direction, to help them so that they won't go through what you went through. That's your responsibility right now. That's your calling. To make sure to help influence people to avoid this same problem, tragedy. You're going against what you're being called for. Cut this out. It's time to grow up. The adult world, listen, you're being called on to be a leader right now. Don't lead the young people into a pit of fire. Wow, that really disgraces the lessons that you could learn from this experience.
Their dog. I know what it feels like to be attached to a dog. I do feel horrible, of course. I feel bad about the whole situation. It's a really bad situation to be in. I am not going to let this attack stop me from living my life. And I learned that from my dad. Right when I got into the attack, he told me that there was 2 ways that I could go about this. I can feel sorry for myself, which will literally help nothing, or I could just go live my life and find happiness within it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. If you're going through anything and you need...
All right, cut that out. Stop. Happiness. It's like everybody else. But I believe deep down, she's trying to find her real, true purpose as a victim. Brooklyn, that's your purpose. That's your calling. Your calling is to be a crusader. Is to be at least anti-pit bull. If not, you dishonor your very life if you don't speak out against pit bull, especially you, with knowing that dog all its life, it being fully trained, having never shown aggression. Man, oh man. Now, I don't know why. See, I know that I was subscribed to this channel. This happens all the time. I just become unsubscribed to people's channels. It's crazy. But I noticed there were not that many of her videos popping up on my feed. I'm like, well, what's going on here? I went to her channel and I noticed she's uploaded a lot of recent videos. And this was one of them. It's only 3 minutes, 13 seconds long. Now listen to this, with that previous video in mind. Listen to this.
I just got cleared to skate. This is my outfit. I don't even know how to dress anymore. I'm so excited.
Yes. It looks like a dog. But you see, it's not quite a pit bull. So, she's still a dog lover? I bet you she's not a pit bull lover. Brooklyn, you are supposed to be anti-pit bull. Join us. Stop it. You have a mob of people. There are hundreds of thousands to millions of us. You're not going to be alone. See, she's thinking the world is going to hate me. No. And listen, the anti-dog community is tighter. We are tighter than the pit bull community. Okay? Find out for yourself.
This is my outfit. I don't even know how to dress anymore. I'm so excited. Good morning. It is 7 a.m. my time. I have my coffee. I don't know what.
Okay, it's very important. Very important video, right? Pay attention.
Why I'm YouTubing this early. But anyway, I had this happen the other day and I was like, wow, I really should talk about it because I'm sure other people going through surgeries or anything cosmetic or just mentally or physically, they have probably had this happen. Since the attack happened almost 2 years ago, I've never really looked back on my camera roll to see what I look like or look at
Y'all catch that?
old photos or remember how I used to look. I think that's my way of healing and kind of just accepting.
Y'all hear that? She said she tries not to look at how she used to look. She tries not to look at old photos and videos of herself before the attack. And there are lots of them. So this young lady has been traumatized and she deals with depression. This pit bull impacts her life every day. It attacked her once for a few seconds, and it has destroyed the configuration of her brain and emotions for the rest of her life. Don't look at me as the bad guy for not wanting this to happen in the future. Nobody deserves to go through something like this. And what really infuriates me is the fact that many of these dog lovers, pit bull lovers, they're wired. They're wired to be that way. They've been raised that way. We see these videos and photos of infants with dogs. Some of these people have been around dogs ever since they've been able to see. These people are thoroughly brainwashed. And that's why there's so many contradictions. Because it's all propaganda. My apologies. Probably lost some of y'all's train of thought. Let me rewind it a little bit. Again, it's very important.
Like, see what I look like, or look at old photos, or remember how I used to look. I think that's my way of healing and kind of just accepting what has happened. The other day, a photo came up like on my photo timeline. That was the first time that I'd like seen a photo and been like, oh my gosh, I miss what I look like so bad. Stop my...
Yeah, okay. That's what I wanted to hear, Brooklyn. You miss what you used to look like. Hey, listen, I'm grateful that she made this video. I told y'all I was going to keep up with her, Jacqueline Durand, for the rest of their lives, as long as I'm alive. That's a valuable confession, Brooklyn. That you miss what you used to look like. And it has to be depressing, at least at times, to know that you can never get it back. Because doctors are not that good. Granted, they're doing a good job. But there's always going to be a difference there. And the emotional trauma, it's not worth it. We're not supposed to go through stuff like this. We're not supposed to be the ones that structure our own society in a way that makes this possible. And at this point, makes it the norm.
Like, oh my gosh, I miss what I look like so bad. I just stopped myself right there and I was like, no. And I like sat in that moment for a little bit. I like felt sad. And then I was like, I need to get out of this because it's not a healthy headspace to be in. I can't like reverse time. I can't not wish this didn't happen. So I like looked at myself in the mirror and I picked 3 things that I was like, what do you got going on that you're excited about your face? I picked my eyebrows. I picked my nose. Thank God it's straight. And I picked the symmetry that's happening in my lip. It's starting to happen slowly but surely. So easy to like wish that you had it different. Everything happens for a reason. And to be honest, I'm just really thankful that I've been posting on YouTube and updating because I didn't realize, like I look at myself every day in the mirror, so I don't really realize progress. I have looked so different after each and every one of them, but I just haven't realized it. Oh my gosh, it is like...
Could y'all imagine if after her upper lip was sort of reestablished or revived, could you imagine if she got it bitten off again? She maybe think a Labrador retriever, golden retriever is friendly. Maybe she's in the company of a Doberman. And she decides to show her friends that she's not traumatized. There's pressure there for dog attack victims to show their dog-loving peers that they're not traumatized. That's why Jacqueline Duran put her mutilated face right back up into the face of more dogs that some wasn't even her dog. Right after she was mutilated, there's pressure there from these dog lovers. Hey, make sure you show us that you're not traumatized. Go ahead and prove it by putting your face back in the dog's face. This sounds crazy, people, but there is pressure from dog lovers on dog attack victims to behave exactly the way they behaved before the attack. Anything less than that, yeah, it's pretty sick. This is some sick stuff, man. Now, she's young. She's young. She might still be online 30 years from now. Hopefully by then, she will be at least anti-pit bull. There's no excuse for that. Speak out against these things. You've learned firsthand that the so-called myths are not myths, that these things will snap. Speak out against these things. That's the adult, mature thing to do. That's the righteous thing to do. This is counterproductive. Let's continue.
So drastic. It's insane. Like, that is crazy. I didn't realize how much surgery helped. That sounds stupid, but I didn't realize how much progress I had made. Very thankful.
Listen. But here's the thing. Her lip will never be the same. She's, for the rest of her life, I don't even know if she has feeling in her upper lip. But it's not going to be able to maneuver like her natural lip did. Even after, people are going to still see what's up with her top lip. Oh, she was attacked by a dog. That's always going to be there. That dog has still, no matter, despite the surgeries, has had an impact on your existence for the rest of your life. Dogs are not valuable enough. They don't deserve the opportunity to ruin the life of a human being. They're far too beneath us to have the right and privilege to ruin even one of our lives like this. Filthy, nasty mutants are beneath all other animals. Y'all want to give these mutants the green light? Put your safety and well-being in the hands of the dogs? Stop. Young folk, don't ever let dog lovers try to shame you because you don't want to go around there stinking, nasty, dangerous mutt. Yeah, that's part of what has disappointed me this whole time. For so many decades, these people have made us feel guilty. Shamed us, ridiculed us, told us we had mental problems and social disorders for not wanting to go around their dog. Even gave it a name, called it cynophobia. Something's wrong with you. You need rehabilitation. As if it's a sign of sanity when you create the perfect conditions for this to happen.
For my doctors, I'm very thankful for the surgeon team and just the people that I have around me. I've learned a lot about myself through this whole process, but it is so easy to compare on Instagram. And I just want to remind you that what you see on Instagram is only the good, and only the good happening in people's life. It is a way for them to make themselves feel good. I know that sounds horrible, but it is not the reality. Things happen, things change, People are going through things. So just because you see other people on Instagram or on YouTube looking happy, feeling happy, having the life that you want, there's a lot happening that you don't know about. So don't wish that you had anyone else's life.
Yeah, like pit bulls biting people and being aggressive. They catch 5 minutes of their pit bull not ripping somebody's throat out, record a video, and say, hey, look at this. This is how my dog is all the time. Thank you, Brooklyn, for pointing that out. You don't want to be a crusader. I will morph you into one. Huh? I'll speak on your behalf. Thank you very much for enlightening the crusaders that bit of information. Okay? Most definitely. Let's say that again.
You want. There's a lot happening that you don't know about. So don't
Yep. Like that mutt showing aggression and all kinds of things. So this is her YouTube channel. She is pretty, I won't say not consistent, you know, there's a few gaps in between. It's 2 weeks ago, 8 days ago. She's uploaded another one an hour ago. Fascinating. It is fascinating following these victims and looking at how they respond to these completely unnecessary attacks. Unbelievable. Now, yesterday, an article surfaced that infuriated me. And I'm going to share it with you all. It's this one right here. Okay, this was published yesterday. Mahoning County dog warden reports happy ending for pit bull that no one wanted. Subtitle: if you're looking for a story that will brighten your holidays, here's one with a happy ending from the Mahoning County Dog Warden's Facebook page. You see, this was published yesterday. So, nobody wanted this pit bull. We hear stories like this. And one day a family wanted the pit bull. And that's such a wonderful moment in the eyes of pit bull lovers. Okay, so big deal. You know, big deal. This happens all the time. A dog that's been in the shelter for a long time gets adopted. So big deal. Why are you sharing this? Y'all see what I'm saying? Even in dog lover world, with dog lover standards, pit bull standards, this ain't news. People adopt pit bulls all the time that have been in the shelter for a long time. You know? Isn't that like redundant? So why would they make this article? This is why. They just wanted to show you a picture of a toddler completely hugging, laying in the bed with, laying on a pit bull. And you can clearly see that the adults maneuvered this dog's, oh my God. Now, I'm not going to go through this goofy nutter article, But basically, it's saying the exact same thing that I just told you. A mutt was in the shelter for a long time, and the family came and adopted it. And after they adopted it, they shared an image with the shelter that they adopted it from. And the image this family chose to share was that image that you just saw. Now, you mean to tell me you don't see anything sinister about that? Do you really not see anything that's completely disgusting about this? Unreal. Now, this is the shelter that they adopted it from. This is the shelter they adopted it from. Okay, let's check it out. Isn't that right? Yeah, Mahoning County. You see that? Friends Fido, Mahoning County Dog Pound. They named this mutt Capone. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Notice they don't tell you whether or not it's child friendly. You notice that? Okay. These are pit bulls we talking about. You see that? Y'all see that? See how they don't even volunteer that information? Don't even volunteer it. You know full well many of these mutts are aggressive. We all know that. Look at that. Look at that. Did y'all see that? Look at how they operate. Look, you see how, look at this. Have y'all seen this? You see how it says good in a home with, they've all said other dogs. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Why didn't they put children? Why are they acting like the pit bull is a threat to other dogs more than anything else? As if other dogs are more important than a child that might be in the home. Yeah, in almost every one, good in a home with other dogs. People, now this is why the dog lover world is going to crumble. Especially, and it's going to start with the pit bull world. People in almost every one, they said good in a home with other dogs. All of these shelters know full well that some shelters indicate whether or not these dogs attack kids. And almost every one, they only put good in a home with other dogs, as if kids don't live in homes. They just don't even give you any information on how the thing is with kids. Nowhere. Do y'all really believe every pit bull in this shelter is not kid triggered? Y'all remember that test of that behaviorist had dogs lined up, child in the middle, how virtually every dog was just itching to mutilate that child? to the point where they had to discipline the dogs, yank the collar, snatch it here, snatch it there. Just looking at a child, just itching and dying to attack the child. Do y'all really believe that every pit bull in this flipping shelter gets along well with kids? They didn't even look at this. Oh. He is a young pit bull mix, dog friendly, older, respectful kids. Huh? Older, respectful kids. Okay, opposed to what? Younger, disrespectful kids? What is that supposed to mean? Respectful? But look how they pointed that out. I mean, did I miss the description of the other ones? What did I miss here? You see that? Those other ones didn't have no description like that. Did y'all notice that? This is what the other one said. But that one specifically said that the dog is okay with older, respectful kids. Doesn't that sound like an organization that hates kids? For you to even utter something like that, you sound sick. Once again, good in a home with other dogs. People, they're deliberately concealing the fact that these things will attack children. They're literally, and they know it. We've had multiple shelter workers come out and admit it. Stop it. Stop it. Now, here you see a description. Boy, oh boy, you know it's propaganda in there. Oh, it's scared of fireworks. Full of energy, la. Older, respectful kids. Wow. Wow. Hey, kids. What? 11? Some of you follow channel 12 years old. I see you in my analytics. I see you. You're an older, respectful kid right now. But when you were 5 years old, you were a young, disrespectful kid. Do you even remember do you remember being 5 years old? Some of you might remember being a child. Do you remember being impulsive or well thought out? I think back to things I did when I was a child, and it's like a whole different person. I don't know about anybody else. It's a whole different person. I'm fascinated at some of the things I did when I was a child. Plus, I was on sugar. I talk about this all the time. A lot of this so-called misbehavior that people project on kids, it's from you poisoning them with sugar. Just look up, do some research on sugar and what it does to the body and the brain. And you want to give it to a child? Older, respectful kids, I'm almost at a loss for words. So without actually making the confession, this shelter that they adopted that dog from, their bright idea was to make their toddler lay in the bed with it and hug it. Exactly what behaviors tell you not to do. They probably drugged it up as well. so they could take a picture of this mutt with their toddler. Unbelievable. Almost every single time they give a description down here, it's damage control. They're trying to explain away its aggression. Look at what they wrote here. No small children due to a lack of manners and strength. Y'all see that? Some of you have accused me of exaggerating, making something out of nothing, making far-fetched assumptions and accusations. What do you say now? Didn't I just say that? Older, respectful kids opposed to who? Young, disrespectful kids who lack manners. People, these pit bull lovers, this is a cult of child haters. Does this sound like people who look forward to being a parent? Again, all of you replacement theorists, stop it. I don't want to hear nothing from you until you address this issue, this weird, sick, evil hatred for parenthood, for children themselves. It's irrefutable at this point. Pit nutters, stop it. And pit nutters are the worst for this. They are the biggest child haters out there. Does this not convince you? How many more videos need to be made? So, in their mind, in their sick, warped mind, all small children lack manners. You adults out there who might say, well, my child is small, but my child does not lack manners. What type of idiotic parent, who in their right mind would do business with an organization like this? Who do you think you are? How dare you tell me that my child lacks manners because my child is small? This is why this crusade is going strong. And this is why we will win. Because you are rooted in filth. Man, this is gross, man. Matter of fact, let me share a link to this filth. Do you believe me now? I can't compare this to anything else that I can remember right now. What type of insanity is this? Pump the brakes. Unbelievable, man. Talk about warped. Oh boy. Do you know they write the exact same thing for each dog? You know what it is, people? When the dog sees small children, it wants to attack them. This has nothing to do with no lack of manners from no toddler. People, they're talking about toddlers. What do you think an older child is? They're talking about kids who are very close to puberty. 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, 10-year-olds. When they say small children, they're talking about essentially babies. Where on earth, how is it even possible for a group of people to have so much hatred? Who hates babies? What is there a legitimate reason? I mean, like, I don't know about you, but at one point in my life, I was a baby. You know, I was a baby. I used to be a baby. Now, I don't know. Maybe you came into this world as an adult. But if you think it's acceptable to entertain this type of disgust, that's basically what it is, for children, that's a genocidal way of thinking. You know, that mentality will cause you to perish. Which lets you know that it's not the way that you should be thinking. Infuriating. Boy, oh boy, this is disturbing. Man, this is disturbing stuff. Did I share that link? Did it go through? My goodness. My goodness. Pump the brakes. Where is it? Did I share it? I can't see it. I'm about to share it again. No. I have to share a link to this. This is evil. Doesn't it seem like you traveling through hell and, you know, you stumble across it? This is something you find in hell. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Too much, man. It is too much. Let me end this live stream. I'm already over an hour. Just wanted to touch on that, people. The statistics that we have, the stories that we hear of these horrible mutilations, these dog owners are fully aware of the danger and they take the chance anyways. And when these things attack these kids, they lie on the kids. That's the sick group that we're dealing with. They've even been caught in the lie, trying to frame a child who had just had his arm bitten off. And for them to write such a thing all over this website, that lets you know that they lie on kids. They structured an entire set of propaganda around lying on. It's such a sick, it's twisted, man. All of the advice they give. Oh, the way to prevent dog bites in kids is to teach those ill-mannered chaps a lesson. Teach them how to behave, because the dog surely is not going to simply want to attack the child. And that's how every attack we've ever researched on this channel has gone down. Every single one of them have been unprovoked. And these people still have the nerve to be out here saying that they're all provoked with their chest out, as if they got evidence to back it up. Boy, oh boy, unbelievable. Shout out to everybody who has joined me on this video series. Yeah. Say population control. Good point. You shout out to everyone. Serena, Jean, good to see you all up in here. Annabelle, Mr. Payne in the building. Search my local shelter. They look Chihuahuas. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. Jean. said the world is really upside down. The devil, man, this world is in tatters right now, man. Tatters. We got to snap out of it. But the thing is, at this point, there's nowhere to go but up. There's nothing to make but progress at this. This is ground zero. Zero. So it feels good to be a part of positive change. You know, my spirit will rest easy after I leave this earth, knowing that I did something, that I helped to make it better. Horrible. And the nerve of these people to project themselves as the most morally upright, righteous people on earth, and we are the pigs and evil devils. Please. Unbelievable. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me. And I hope you all join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.